Excuse the interruption, but we're getting breaking news on the Philadelphia. Apparently, just moments ago, there was an accident.
What's unique about Command & Conquer 3 is that, unlike other games, you're the commander and the actors address you directly.
This is Joe Kukin from Command & Conquer 3. For CNC, we really felt that we had to have actors, human beings, delivering the story, because there's a degree of richness that comes across in the performance that you just cannot get out of digital characters right now.
We discussed everything. We discussed live action, we discussed CG actors.
Command & Conquer was known as a sort of pioneer of the live action, what was known at the time as FMVs.
In the end, the audience expectation of what a CNC game is all about won out, and we went with the FMVs.
I mean, how many games do you play where you really interact or that you literally emotionally get involved with?
There are a lot of people on the team who have tremendous passion for the Tiberium Universe and adore the game fiction with Kane and GDI and Nod and Tiberium. It's just a very compelling world, and one that we're all very attached to emotionally, since this is what got a lot of us into real-time strategy games.
The overall vision for the cinematics in CNC3 was, number one, to give it a higher production value than they've ever had before, really modern look. The camera work, have a real documentary feel to it. The overall stylization, somewhat like Three Kings, the film, where it has this bleach bypass look. And to just give it a really, high-end production value.
Bringing in live actors and full motion video to the game really takes everything up a level. It's more difficult that way, because you have to translate what's very tiny and from a whole different sort of camera view in the game in something that's much more intimate and character based. And you're sort of thinking about both things the whole time you're making this game, because the full motion video was such a big part of the previous Command & Conquer games.
But once we realized the potential of what we had here, we went all out.
The war to end all wars. Go ahead, my son. Push the button. Inscribe your place in history with the blood of GDI.
Command, all hell's broken loose. Nod's launched preemptive strikes in every major blue zone across the board.
And Kane has sown the seeds of his own destruction.
You're ready to boil! Commander, I need your help. I've requested reinforcements in Australia. Kane refused.
When this all works out, tell Kane who drew up the plan.
The casting of the game was interesting because we really wanted a range of people. We wanted some actors in there that had science fiction history. I mean, Lando Calrissian, how can you beat that?
Let me tell you who we are. We are the ones the public has entrusted to protect them. We have a responsibility to uphold that trust.
These are complicated characters who have interesting conflicts. We knew we had to find the right people to play these characters, and we were really gratified as we went through the casting process to find people like Billy D. Williams and Tricia Helfer and Grace Park and Josh Holloway all express interest in being a part of this project because they like the story and they like the characters they were going to play.
I think the more important audience expectation is Kane, that people wanted to go back to that character.
It's great to be back as Kane. I originated the character just over 10 years ago, and I revised the role a couple times since then. I thought that I was done with the character after a long hiatus in the CNC franchise. It felt like maybe we weren't going to get to see this character again, but I am just tickled that here I am back in the saddle and once again poised to take over the world.
Joe Kukin's a surprisingly captivating actor, And the guy hasn't aged a day since the previous CNC games.
The wheels of war are in motion, our destiny within grasp. The Philadelphia was only the beginning. Our forces will spread like a great plague across the earth. Every blue zone will feel our wrath. But for you, my son, I have reserved the most important mission of all, taking the northeastern blue zone. We have a secret attack force awaiting your command. You must show no mercy, for GDI deserves none.
Kane has his own agenda. He is very ruthless and focused on his ultimate goal, which at times is not entirely clear.
Now, my son, you must help me unveil phase 2 of this campaign. Background. Isn't it possible that's
Killian is Kane's second in command. She got there by definitely being less to Kane, letting him feel like he has the ultimate power.
General Qatar tells me you two have never met, but I'm sure you've heard of her deeds. Besides yourself, she is the greatest military asset we have. Philadelphia's strike was her idea.
My idea, yes. But it was your vision that made it possible. But yet also watching his every move and understanding and being aware. So she believes in him wholeheartedly and has followed him, but she is also aware of everything. It seems a single GDI command is aggression. We will obey. Action. We will obey. That was all. Kane, he's overreaching without fear of punishment.
2210. So you're the one everyone's been talking about. Legendary insurgent. I hope you're as good as they say you are, Commander. So we're throwing you right in the frying pan. Yes, this is my first video game, and I'm proud to be attached to this particular franchise, CNC.
We're getting Josh Holloway at a time when he is at the top of his game. He's this huge new star, and to have him in our game when he's, suddenly one of the most famous faces in the world is really exciting.
Right now, time to take the war to GDI. Take it right into their big, fat, overstuffed living rooms. This was